Hello my good friends, welcome to Digimon Explained. My name is Jesse and today I decided to quit my long break of dedicating specific attention to canon Digimon. I tried to experiment with other stuff like paying closer attention to Digimon made by fans, which was a great experience, and YouTube Shorts, something that I believe is great for us to discuss the mythological and religious inspirations behind Digimon. I will tell more of that at the end. I also went into this sort of spiritual journey of trying to make sure everything is going well in my head. Therapy is necessary and I would recommend it to everyone. I went to a short session to know if I'm still sane, and to my surprise, I've been told I was going more than well. I just lacked some sleep, meaning that I need to adjust my schedule a bit to make sure I get enough rest, and I need to make sure to clear my mind and not fill it with unnecessary subjects like the past, certain actions from myself or others, etc. This can contribute to a lack in sleep. Now that that's said, we are finally going to get back to exploring canon Digimon while still taking into account some of the other interesting subjects. I can only say stay tuned for it. I do have a small question for you. Do you like spiders? What we are going to be doing here is discuss the Digimon called Arukenimon. I believe many of you are familiar with this one if you ever watched Digimon Season 2. A very interesting Digimon that is quite, how shall I call it, mysterious in many aspects. You'll get what I mean. For the first time in over 200 videos, I believe, we are going to start with the in-training form instead of the rookie form. And I'm talking about Jorōgumon, basically sort of baby form of its champion Digivolution Jorōgumon, which we'll explain in a moment. And that is also why it is called a child. Well, children is better said, in plural. Because Jorōgumon is the type of spider that lives in a collective. It attacks enemies in swarms, and although they are in the in-training level, their attack power is high. What's interesting in their battle strategy is that you would never really see Jorōgumon attack you, as they tend to swoop down on intruders, meaning that they go down from a high position in order to attack. The perfect strategy for a Digimon you would normally only find in the deep jungles. Now normally Jorōgumon has one Digivolution, but now with Digimon Ghost game that came out, it has two paths that it can take. The larva path, where it becomes proficient in poison, and the more spider type, where it is not. I will start with this spider route. So Jorōgumon in its training form can digivolve into Jorōgumon at the rookie level. Usually a docile Digimon that hangs from things such as tree branches with its body curled into a ball. If an enemy were to provoke it or approach it, then it would attack in a similar fashion as its in-training form, meaning it would attack en masse from overhead. Jorōgumon is sort of like a mama's boy, so to speak. Its body doesn't exactly allow it yet to become lethal. That is why it depends a bit more on a parent. It behaves in clusters with Jorōgumon, and it wears gloves with a strong poison on the claws because it is unable to produce a strong poison of its own yet. That is a major difference to its other quote-unquote variant, which is Arukenimon, a larva Digimon, one who surprisingly looks very similar to Kunemon, another larva Digimon, and both are being researched as they harbor quite a few mysteries in terms of insect Digimon and their Digivolution route. But I'm curious to know how it comes that both are exactly the same Digimon despite being quite different in terms of abilities. If you guys have an answer, make sure to share it in the comment section. While Kunemon is fairly malicious in personality, Arukenimon is quite timid, and because of it, it lives hidden in forests, making it difficult to find, and that is why the research concerning this Digimon has not progressed. Now, despite its timid personality and unlike Jorōgumon, Arukenimon is extremely lethal. Let me go into details. Many insect Digimon, not all, but many, gained electric abilities which was passed down by ancient Beetlemon, who I believe to be the most prominent user of thunder. Arukenimon is indeed a larva, but that is a phase insect Digimon are known to go through before sometimes jumping to another level. And that is why you shouldn't be surprised that Arukenimon can use electric-based attacks such as firing electric threads from its mouth or even throw small balls of electricity. Now, those electric-based attacks will end up disappearing once it goes to its champion form, and there is a good reason for that, but we'll get into it. Arukenimon is also a very dangerous Digimon in terms of poison. It can jump and scatter a neurotoxin from its beak that paralyzes the enemy. It can sting the foe with its poisonous tail. It can do all of that while also turning itself invisible, and it can summon a swarm of digital bees to sting the foe. So, for a rookie form, Arukenimon has a lot to offer. A lot of tools, and one more reason to not venture too far in those jungles. Now, Arukenimon and Jorōgumon have a common champion form, which is Jorōgumon, an important Digimon to discuss. You see, Jorōgumon is known as a cursed Digimon in the shape of a spider. It is cursed because its entire body has been parasitized by a computer virus. That happened when, at some point, it was drawn into a powerful electromagnetic storm and was infected by a computer virus that had been circulating around the network. Since then, it has become but a lump of poison, or, in other words, a computer virus that corrodes anything it touches. It is not the first time that the term electromagnetic wave is being brought up in Digimon. You see, in Digimon, an electromagnetic wave can be used for both the good as for the bad. For example, Yanmamon can generate an intense electromagnetic wave by flapping its wings. High Vision Monitamon earned itself the nickname Black Electromagnetic Wave due to its fighting strength, analytic power, and intelligence gathering abilities. These are examples of how electromagnetic waves are pushed in a more positive connotation. Deltamon, just like Jorōgumon, is an example of when an electromagnetic wave is being used negatively. The reason why I say that is because Deltamon has 3 heads, and that is because it was force-fused due to a computer running wild after it was struck by a storm's electromagnetic wave. It has 3 heads, each of which act independently. An anomaly, in other terms, with its DNA being changed entirely. And same happened to Jorōgumon, who was originally a spider type along with the docile personality typical of an insect type Digimon, but it changed. Its entire body has been parasitized. It can't use electricity anymore, but it can fire a poisonous blast from its mouth or use a sharp poisonous needle in close quarters. It can also command Jorōgumon at the enemy. Lots of tools in its arsenal, and what makes matter worse is that Jorōgumon has great movement speed made possible thanks to its 8 legs. So no matter how desperately one tries to get away, it is never far behind and won't stop its chase until the opponent ceases to continue running out of exhaustion. Now what's interesting about the Jorōgumon family is that while they preside over Jorōgumon and Arukenimon, they themselves are presided over by their queen and also next Digivolution named Arukenimon, a dark animal Digimon. And to be honest with all of you, when taking into account the many Digimon out there and the numerous possible conversations we might have, to me it has always felt as if Arukenimon was swept under the radar. It might not be most known for its offensive capabilities, even if those should not be underestimated, but I believe Arukenimon is most known for its skill at transforming into a human-like appearance, a gorgeous looking lady. To many, this skill seemed to be so odd and weird that various theories were made. Luna Curtis, the one person who motivated me to make this video, wrote the following: with the exception of the reference books and the often loosely based video games, all Arachnemon, also called Arukenimon, are partially humanoid. The one created in Adventure as well as the one from Ghost Game. It doesn't take a genius to realize that the Digimon listed as presides over all Jorōgumon as it evolves from Jorōgumon. However, I don't think it ends there. I'm 100% convinced that Witchmon digressed with the Jorōgumon to survive and thus became the queen of them all. I think it goes even deeper still. Jorōgumon is severely infected with a parasitic virus. In my opinion, that and its general presentation suggest it would be mindless. So why would Arachnemon be not just sentient, but one of the most cunning creatures around? The one in Adventure could create Digimon out of the Dark Towers. The one in Survive is capable of so many various magics that it seems almost odd. It seems to almost stick out. She's way too smart to be coming only from Jorōgumon. Something very smart, magical and humanoid had to contribute. And the clown makeup on Witchmon's eye has somehow found its way onto Arachnemon's mask. Luna Curtis is absolutely right when saying that Arukenimon or Arachnemon is a bit too intelligent and skillful to just come from a Jorōgumon. After all, it is extremely cunning with great intelligence, and that mixed with its extremely short temper and ferocious personality. It somehow has a way to get the opponent to let down their guard so that it can approach and completely devour them. And to add on to that, it can pluck strands of its human form's hair and uses them to convert control spires into artificial Digimon. The more strands of hair it uses, the stronger the Digimon that will be summoned. 1 for a champion, 10 for an ultimate, and 100 for a mega. It can also attack opponents with the countless carnivorous Jorōgumon hidden in its abdomen. It can spray acid and chop up the opponent with razor-sharp wires. So we are clearly talking about a very capable Digimon with great authority, as it presides over all Jorōgumon, who they themselves preside over their youngest ones. Can we say that its abilities are too great up to a point it might be deemed a Jagras of Witchmon? I don't think it is too far-fetched to believe that. But then again, do not forget one thing. Jorōgumon is not a proper Digivolution of Jorōgumon and Arukenimon. Remember how the electromagnetic wave pretty much ruined Jorōgumon? It high probably mutated in terms of genetics and became Arukenimon. And to add on to that story, Arachnemon is based on Arachne, the queen of spiders of Greek mythology. After this video, make sure to check out the Mythological Conversation playlist. As I began making shorts of 1 minute, I will end up explaining Arachne, which ends up bringing us to the last form, a parasite Digimon named Parasimon. Quite an interesting one. Kasut013 wrote the following: Arukenimon definitely is an interesting Digimon, but I found its Digivolution line to be somewhat weird. It's a mindless spider in its champion and mega form, only the ultimate turns into a human-like creature. For me, this transformation has to have a reason. I sure can understand why some do not understand Arukenimon's Digivolution line. That is also why I said that its Digivolution line belongs to the more mysterious one out there. Indeed, to some it might not make sense to have an Arukenimon digivolve into Parasimon, but think about it. After the electromagnetic wave, Jorōgumon's entire body has been parasitized, so it changed completely. It became extremely smart as an Arukenimon, but now, as a mega level Digimon, it looks as if the parasite took completely over. A parasite in the form of a spider, but isn't officially named a spider. And we are talking here about a special Digimon that can't survive without leeching off of other beings, even though it is a mega. And maybe for a little side note, the existence of parasite Digimon other than Parasimon have been confirmed, and the influence of parasite Digimon in addition to viralization is considered the cause of Berserk Digimon. And an example of a confirmed parasite type Digimon is Scudmissimon, who appeared in the Digimon Cross Wars manga. Anyway, when Parasimon leeches off of another, it can draw out the host Digimon's abilities to their utmost limit, exhibiting a terrifying power. Also, it can amplify the host's desire, and it is capable of taking advantage of those weaknesses. Strangely, it is capable of using electricity, which I thought would have been lost. Hey guys, this is the end of the video. I hope you all enjoyed it. I admit it does do well to get back to the more canon Digimon. I missed it. And Arukenimon is definitely a very interesting Digimon. One that can shapeshift into a human. That's a skill to master indeed. I will pin some links towards shorts that I made specifically for this video, actually specifically for Arukenimon, that will explain where the whole concept and inspiration came from. And if you still cannot find the pinned messages in the comment section, know that there is always the Mythological playlist you can go to. Alright, get ready guys, as I'm going to get back to the canon Digimon. And just in case you are new, please make sure to subscribe and leave a comment. It helps me with the YouTube algorithm. And know that all my playlists are always updated. Always. That way you can catch up on the newer and older videos.